Hello, everyone. Welcome into Post-Show Headlines. I'm Andrew Salciunas with John Kincade. I did 4 of the 5 questions, so John's
He did a lot of work today.
Easy Street today.
He really did.
By the way, real quick, we're not doing Post-Show Headlines on Friday. We have a meeting with the big boss.
Big boss on Friday.
We're going to get in trouble because we went off the rails too much today.
I don't know about that.
So tomorrow will be our listener-sent in questions.
Listener-sent in questions tomorrow. We got some good ones for you tomorrow, so we definitely have that.
All right. I have one sports one, and then we're doing fun the rest of the way.
Good.
But tonight is the NBA draft, and the Sixers are selecting 3rd overall. And for a while, it seemed like Ace Bailey was the pick.
Yes.
For a long time. And then it just got bad over the last couple of weeks. I will ask you, is there anyone that comes to your mind in all your years of watching sports, covering sports, that tanked their stock? Now, he's not tanking his stock where he's going from the 3rd pick to the 3rd round. There's not even 3 rounds of the NBA draft. But he's still going to be a top 10 pick, I believe. I know Shedeur Sanders is a name that people will think of, but I don't think he did anything other than the bad interviews to go from 1 to 5. That's nuts. Any other people come to your mind about somebody that killed their draft stock? By the way, Shedeur Sanders, people never really thought he was a number 1 first-round pick to begin with.
No. You're right.
Like Ace Bailey, basketball-wise, is going to still be a top 10 pick, but he's going to be losing millions of dollars if he's going from 3 to 8, like some
3
people
to 8,
are saying.
he loses $10 million.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which is incredible. Which is another reason why he got terrible information from his agent.
Right.
Because of the fact that you want to be drafted as high as possible.
Yeah.
No matter if you want to play for that team or not, but then you can let it be out that, like, hey, other teams, make your move, try to trade for me, whatever it is. Maneuver at that point. Well, I mean,
we always hear the story of the guy that climbed up, Mike Mamula, because of the combine, right? Like, we've always heard about the rise.
I think of Eli Manning.
Okay.
I think of Eli Manning, and you guys were really young.
Yeah.
You guys were really young for that. But Eli Manning literally manipulated the system big time. John Elway manipulated the system in order to make sure that they weren't going to go where people wanted them to go. John Elway was threatening to play baseball.
Yeah.
John Elway was a guy, though, who could have played for the New York Yankees. It wasn't John Elway was a guy who was,
like
some
Russell
of these guys.
Wilson, Tim
right,
Tebow.
Russell. Now, John Elway could have played for the New York Yankees.
Right.
And would have been a baseball player. So he would have went right to AA. So back in the day.
That's actually an amazing story.
So he would have been, he would have had that opportunity. But no. And to me,
and like not off the field issues. Like Ace Bailey, he's not a bad kid.
No, I mean he seems like a nice kid.
It's just whatever his team is telling him to say.
No, it's bad. And yesterday, behind a microphone,
it's horrible.
They didn't have business classes or public speaking at Rutgers. Or he didn't go to those classes.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he should have been coached up. He should have spent the last 3 months getting coached up. Here's what you say about this question. Here's how you don't step in it with this question.
Everybody knew he was going to be asked that question. Like, hey, there's a perception that you don't want to go certain places and you're doing things to yourself.
Because on NBA Today, on ESPN yesterday, they spent at least 4 or 5 minutes, and he was getting sort of kicked around and trashed.
Yeah.
You don't want that the day before you're being drafted.
Right, absolutely.
You don't want veteran
But
NBA
you did it
players.
to yourself.
You did it to yourself with this attitude. Well, I can only control what I can control. You control everything.
Yeah,
Go
you
work
control to not work out with teams.
The team who can pay you $10 million more, you work out for them, and then you let people behind the scenes manipulate it like, hey, draft me and then trade me.
Yeah.
See what you can work out.
Horrible. All right, you have a slice of life question.
I do have a slice of life question for you. This is a really interesting one for you. Okay. Last week when we talked about the unclaimed luggage thing?
Yes.
Which, by the way, that was a great conversation. Which I really would absolutely love to do. Would really love to.
I would love to do that on the air as a bit.
I would love to do that. I think, in fact, we're going to have to find a way to do that.
We're going to Tampa in a few months. Let's just buy something when we get back.
We can maybe do that. Okay. They have do you know that they have unclaimed trips?
No.
Where people now, you can say for a certain amount of money, you and Christy could say for a very discounted price, you and Christy go, we are going somewhere warm, and they say, Christy and Andrew, for $299 each this weekend, all you do is show up at the airport 2:00, and you're taking a trip, you're flying somewhere. Because The airlines have these packages.
Yeah.
Somebody cancels on them and they're screwed, and
They have the
it.
2 seats
So
open.
they'd rather make some of the money back.
Oh my God.
They have unclaimed trips, and one of our listeners to Post Show Headlines sent me an email about it.
Love that.
So they did it. They did it. They went to not Fort Myers, somewhere, and spent 3 nights in a 4-star hotel on the beach.
Wait, so was the hotel booked, or was the
plane
flight,
trip?
or everything?
It was plane trip and hotel.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, I'm doing that.
And they did it, and it was a trip through an airline, like an airline package. They had the airline and the hotel.
So there's stages of life, though. Like if Christy and I,
They had no idea where they were going.
No, I'm saying like if this was 5 years ago, I didn't have Coop.
Right.
I would do that. When Coop's like 18,
Can't do that.
I would do that.
Oh, you would? Oh, yeah. When Coop's out of the house.
Yeah, when he's out of the house. So like,
Right.
you and Christina could. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds
Christina
like something. Now you're a planner, so I
Christina
don't know
would
if
never
that
do.
I don't
Oh,
think
no.
you would do it because you like to plan too much.
Yeah, Christina's Monica from Friends. She'd never do it.
But still,
she would never
I
not
would-
have it.
I would do that because I love exploring new places.
I got a text during our show today. This is a true story. Text during our show today because my wife had already checked into our hotel for Friday night
Oh my God.
down in Atlantic City.
Well, I'm the same
Because
way.
the email came in.
Yeah.
So you can check in now.
Yeah.
So she had already checked in on the app, and I'm like, why am I getting this email? Oh,
It's
she
a
checked in.
night out for the Mr. and Mrs. Is that
It
right?
is.
Wow.
Well, I have to work because one
Hard-
of us will be working on draft
Our
night
rocks can be
here
rocking.
in the Fanatic.
All
There
right.
you go.
Question number 3. So John, during one of the commercial breaks today, showed me a photo of muscles. Not these muscles.
No.
Muscles on spaghetti.
Where? Oh, okay.
Come on,
There
man.
you
Flash
go.
them a little
There you
bit.
go.
Come on,
Yeah.
baby.
There you go.
Dylan, I imagine you're a seafood man, right, Dylan? All right.
I love seafood, not mussels.
But it's the mussels in the shell
oh,
on the pasta.
oof.
It's delicious.
Ugh.
I said to you at the end of the show, I'm going to offend a group of people,
Yeah.
and it's the Italians. And I'm sorry.
Those Italians are going to get offended.
And my buddy Ant, I'm sorry. The crabs and spaghetti dish, which is delicious.
Go on.
Delicious.
Okay, go on.
Too much work.
Yeah, the shells and stuff in there.
It's
Who wants shells in there?
Well, it's not the shells, it's the full crab.
Look at me.
But the problem is it's in the gravy.
You had to like
So now
put your hands in.
I got gravy hands.
No, can't do that. And then napkins, and you have like cloth napkins.
And I
stuff.
feel bad because it is a traditional food, and I love
delicious.
traditions with my Lithuanian heritage.
Right,
and all that.
right.
Like I love traditions. And by the way, once you get past the mess, it is
Oh,
a delicious.
it's delicious.
It's been cooking in the gravy for like a day, so
Sure.
it's the flavor is incredible. But it's a lot of work, man.
No,
and it's just like special occasions, sure, absolutely, I would do it.
But I'm not doing the work. No, it's like the people that friends of ours like to have the backyard picnic table, put out the newspaper, and spill out all the potatoes and corn.
Yeah, the
and
boil.
It's like a boil, but they literally just spill it out on the picnic table on newspaper.
Yeah, but that's different to me.
And you're eating.
That's different to me because
That's gross to me.
no, but that's different to me because like I do that with my dad with crabs. But that's if I'm like just doing crabs. If I'm doing the crabs and spaghetti, like I gotta use my fork.
Yeah, I'm not
And now I got
doing that.
sauce on my fork.
I'm not doing that. No.
Dylan?
No. Not doing that.
He just shakes his head.
Dylan's not doing
Too
that.
much work. All right,
much
Dylan
work.
says too much work. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be offensive. It's just.
You're not offending someone because you don't like something.
But
It's not offending
I do
someone.
like it. It's just. I'll just take it
much
out.
work.
Take it out. You could still do the same thing with it out of the shell.
Seriously.
All right. Things that scared you as a kid
Oh.
that you just had to deal with. And there's a reason why
You
I
had
asked
to
this.
deal with?
There's a reason why I asked this question. Not like clowns, because you didn't have to go to a circus, right?
No.
I'm going to show you a photo because I told you I was at the Franklin Institute.
Okay.
Outside of the Philadelphia Performing Arts School. I'll try to see. Can you see this, Dylan, through the camera?
Kind of
All right. How about better?
blurry.
Okay. Anyways, there's a statue outside of the Philadelphia Performing Arts.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's like a skeleton thing.
It's dancers coming out of the wall.
Yes.
I used to take this part of Philadelphia
Mm-hmm.
coming home from church every Sunday. So
Okay.
imagine as a little kid,
You were seeing that.
you pull up, this is a red light.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that.
You look out the window and there's this
Skeleton.
sculpture skeleton coming
Yeah.
after you. Used to freak me out. As a kid, again, my parents, my dad's parents, they lived in Florida.
Right.
There's a big Lithuanian Catholic heritage thing where you have the photo of the Duke.
Okay.
And the photos are always this. They're always like very serious.
Okay, good.
They had it in the room I would sleep in.
Oh, no. No.
And so I would wake up in the middle of the night.
And the Duke would be staring at you. Oh, no.
It would, John, there was a time where my dad slept on the pull-out couch that had like the metal bar in it because my sister was sleeping with my mom. I was sleeping in another room. I slept on that rickety bed with my dad because I woke up in the middle of the night and just had this Duke staring at me.
Can't do it.
Freaked me out.
No, that's not good.
You have anything else like that?
Yeah, like scary stuff. There was a path between the Magnatas going over our friends the Magnatas. We're over on Rittenhouse. So we'd go play there was a little side street between Harmel and Rittenhouse over in Broomall.
She does a great job with the Preston and Steve show.
So we'd go over and play. We would go and play street hockey over there.
Probably related, by the way.
You know, as a little kid. No, she's not, because there's Magnata.
Oh, really?
Magnata. But maybe there was a mistake made. You never know. So we would sometimes, but we'd go over sometimes. I'd go over to the Magnata's house, and as like a late grade schooler even, and then leave at dark and to walk home, and it'd be like 2 blocks. But you'd have to cut through this pathway that would take me on to Schoolhouse, and then cut through another pathway, take me on to South Malin, take me to my house.
Pathway freaked you out?
Both pathways, I literally would like hold my breath to start running.
Would you run?
Oh, I'd run.
Yeah.
And it would freak me out. And sometimes I'd pick up a stick
just
because I'd think that like there was a murderer on it. Like it would just freak me out. Sometimes when it would be at night, I would be like walking and
I can imagine at night.
I'm in Broomall, Pennsylvania. Nothing happened except Gretchen Harrington, God rest her soul. There's one time we had one kid ever, one murder ever in the history of our town.
That would stick with you.
And she was my age. She was the
so
exact age.
Of course that's going to stick with you.
But it was crazy. And they solved it. And they solved it 2 years ago. She disappeared when I was 10.
Oh,
we were 10 years old.
Louise.
She disappeared. They found her in Ridley Creek State Park, and they solved the murder 2 years ago.
Wow,
which is crazy. I don't know.
Well, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Gretchen.
All right, last one. We talked about this on the air today.
What's that?
The lightning bolt key art.
Terrible.
If you weren't listening to the show today,
God, it's horrible.
If you're crossing the Ben Franklin Bridge in the PA, there's this big silver sculpture.
It's ugly.
It is a lightning bolt hitting the key to depict the time Ben Franklin was flying the kite with the key and the lightning strike. When I said it to my wife yesterday, she was like, "Oh my God, really?" When I said it to you and Connor this morning,
same thing.
Got the same reaction.
When we all knew it.
Yeah, you know the statue.
But we didn't know
about.
what it was.
Dylan, did you know that it was okay? Dylan, he's a smart man.
Dylan's smart.
When we asked the audience, YouTube, Twitter, no idea. People had no idea.
Nope.
Is there anything else that comes to mind that when I say once somebody told you what it was, you almost felt like, oh my God, how did I not know that?
No.
I'm like that with actors a lot. When they're younger, and then they're again in a movie
and
many
then you
years
see
later,
them older.
And then somebody tells me, you know that they played in this.
Okay, that happens. Idea. That happens sometimes. Yeah, stuff like that'll happen. Where somebody is.
Like who was the Dylan? Who was in Batman the trilogy? He was Robin.
Chris O'Donnell?
No, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. You know that actor?
No.
500 Days of Summer.
Oh.
50-50. That's a cancer movie. You might actually know.
It's just what I want to watch.
Yeah.
Cancer movies.
He was the kid in Angels in the Outfield.
Okay.
I had no idea.
Okay, wait.
I've seen a bunch of his movies as an adult. Had no idea he was a childhood actor.
Really?
And I felt like an idiot.
Okay.
Once somebody told me
I didn't
that.
even know they had a. I thought Chris O'Donnell was the only Robin.
No, there's like
there was another Robin.
Robins now.
My gosh, that's terrible.
Anything come to your mind?
But no, I can't. I can't think of stuff like that. sometimes, but no, actors is where it comes from too. Where it'll come from is that, where you go, okay, that
Didn't realize that's the same
that
person or
was
whatever.
in
Yeah.
that, or in you go, I know him from this. Like we're just going to get started on something on Netflix where it's the cop from Mindhunter.
Okay. Yeah.
And you go, oh, it's the cop from Mindhunter. Okay,
And then
I
it
like
hits you.
So then I'm like, oh, okay, but
Or it's like whenever you have a bad sports take, and then I say something, and then you go, "Oh wait, yeah, you're right."
yeah, ask the YouTube people give us that kind of feedback every single day.
All right, tomorrow morning we react to the NBA draft, what the Sixers do, and post-show headlines as our listeners sent in questions. I'm looking forward to it. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Talk to you tomorrow. Hey guys, Andrew Salciunas from Kincade and Salciunas. Thank you for checking out all of our stuff on YouTube. Make sure you click, like, subscribe on everything that you see. And of course, you can see everything from our YouTube feed. Full shows, interviews, when John's being an idiot, which is like 15 times a day. So make sure you check out all of our stuff on YouTube. We appreciate it.